They say every rose has its thorn. But what about a machete? Tonight we're taking a closer look at a diamond painting that's equal parts beauty and bloodbath. Jason's iconic mask surrounded by a wreath of roses. Ta-da! Let's find out if this budget canvas slashed expectations or if it should have stayed buried at Camp Crystal Lake. Come on, let's go. Hey, hi, hello, and howdy. I'm Mushmallow, and you are, well, you're you. Hello, you. Welcome back to Dark and Creepy Diamond Painting. We're back with another post-mortem review where we dissect a finished piece and see what worked and what didn't survive the night. If you're new here, welcome to the WIP'd. I cover horror-themed diamond paintings, creepy WIP'n'Chats, and tales from the WIP'd. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next chilling craft. Around here, it's Halloween all year. This canvas here is listed as a 50 by 50 round drill canvas. However, it does include the border measurements, so it's more like a 45 by 45. This is a round drill kit that came from a budget company. Hello, Temu. Hello. So there's no ABs, no glow in the darks, just standard round drills. It took me about 31 hours to complete. Let's talk about the design. Jason's hockey mask is front and center, and it's framed by these deep red roses here and some dark green, black, rotting colored petals that are dripping with blood. As you can see here at the bottom, blood. Yee. This warm beige background here gives the reds and shadows room to breathe and just really makes the centerpiece pop out and shine, in my opinion. And for a budget kit, the rendering came out really, really crisp. Look at that. These roses are probably the best, some of the best roses I've seen in a canvas, let alone a budget kit, just like a kit in general. The leaves are really clearly defined, even though they're darker colors with darker colors. Everything is like really, really well defined and clear what it is we're looking at. Very intentional, from the blood drips and the slashes and the splatter down to every detail and the shadowing and shading on the mask. All just really awesome. And you can even see some hint of roses back here in his eye holes. How cool is this? The drill quality was solid. Probably around, I'd say about 10% of it was trash, so not too bad. 90% of the drills were usable. For tools, I used Grayson's Intergalactic Putty in my multi-placer and my Flower Designs tray, both shops on Etsy. If you're curious, links down below. And that combo was stellar. The drills picked up cleanly, released evenly, and stayed where they were supposed to. The print clarity was crisp. I was able to easily read all of the letters and symbols that were on this canvas to create this masterpiece. The glue, however, classic budget company glue, it was just sticky enough to attract every stray hair, dust ball, and spirit of the craft room, but did leave some little oily, greasy, wiggly room for the drills, so this did need to be sealed when it was completed, and I did seal this using the infamous $2.79 sealer from Hobby Lobby. Go check your Hobby Lobbies, my friends, because they have a $3 sealer that's amazing. So after sealing it, the colors remained very shiny, sparkly. They didn't lose any of their luster. It just locked the drills into place for me, so I didn't have to worry about them ice skating around the canvas. Let's talk about the color palette and rendering. So here, the reds and blacks, they dominate. They give off full slasher aesthetic energy, right? I think so. The dripping, blood drop drips here and splatter all around, even some slashes and gashes in the canvas. I absolutely love these little details here, and they do it without losing any definition of the flower or the leaves surrounding it. If I could tweak it, which I could have, but if I had, what I would have done is sprinkle in a few metallics and ABs in the roses, just to give them that a little bit of, maybe shimmer and make them look a little wet, like just enough to make it look like fresh blood glinting in the moonlight. But other than that, I don't think I would have really enhanced anywhere else, probably just the roses for that extra effect. Maybe the blood splatter spots, the little dots of blood splatter, I might have done a little something with, but for sure the roses. But like I said in the beginning, every rose has its thorns. So now we kind of have to discuss some of the downsides to this canvas, the odd bits. Take a look at like where Jason's chevrons should be. They're just a hint of something here. These would have been elongated and stretched out over the top. We have some red, presumably chevron-y things embellished here, but it could be roses in the background. This could be broken mask and the roses are showing through. Would make sense. The chevrons here on the mouth, they seem to be more like knives, thorns, or daggers poking out of holes in the mask, more than chevron accents, because as it looks here like they all look like they're up off the mask a little bit. Maybe not these, but these, and coming out, they almost look raised from the mask, if that makes sense. So I don't know if they meant these to be chevrons or chevron-esque, or if it's something sharp and pokey coming out of the mask. Either way, I think it looks really cool. But the one on his forehead just isn't, classic iconic shape that we're used to seeing. And the red marks don't just line up quite right for me. There's also the nostril hole in the mask. Rather like more of a nasal passage. Not even a nostril. This is a nasal passage opening in the mask, which is really strange enough on its own, but it's also lopsided. One nasal passage nostril thingy droops down a little bit. It's a little sad. And if you look at it upside down, it actually kind of looks like a heart, just a little lopsided. I found this element really strange, but because I've never seen a hockey mask have a nasal cavity before, but it is what it is. So this is a little odd and a little detracting from the entire thing. You could argue that maybe it adds character, but it's a mighty strange character. And then there are also too many mouth holes down here. Almost looks like skeleton teeth. So maybe what they were going for here, they kind of maybe merge the iconic Jason mask with a skull situation, and that's how we got these teeth and this weird nasal cavity situation. But the teeth actually do kind of look cool on this mask, if you ask me. It's just I could have really done without the nasal. Like, take a look. If we took that away, let me see. If we took this away, let me find something white. Hold on. There. If we took away that nasal passage like that, I think it would look a lot better if it was just regular. But that's just my opinion. Maybe? Let me know what you think. But anyway, they're small issues. But for the hardcore horror fans, they stand out really big. Still, the piece overall is beautifully composed and gives exactly the creepy, romantic vibe that it promised. The big question here, would I recommend this? Absolutely. For horror lovers or anyone wanting to try a darker, bolder canvas without spending premium prices, sure. I think this would be a pretty decent piece for even anyone of any skill level, even a beginner. Being a budget piece, there is some confetti on here and stuff, especially through the mask and whatnot. So I don't know if I'd give it to a brand new diamond painter to tackle, but I think this would be great for any skill level. And overall, I would give this a 7 out of 10 machetes. I had to dock some points for this nose situation. That's the biggest kicker right there. Despite its quirky mask details, it is very striking. And it's affordable. It delivers that full Camp Crystal Lake energy and vibe. I think so anyway. So, what do you think, Crypt Crew? Would you hang this bloody bouquet in your craft room? Drop your thoughts down below. I'd love to hear what you think. And if you liked this review, please consider giving it a thumbs up, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you never miss the next dark glitter covered horror story from the Dark and Creepy Diamond Painting channel. Because here in the WIP'd, every sparkle tells a story. And speaking of stories, ta-da! This is my next WIP for October. October is creeping its way onto the table yet again, and we're keeping it Halloween classic with this 30 by 40 round drill budget canvas featuring Sam from Trick or Treat. It's orange, it's wicked, and it's ready to sparkle. So grab your candy corn, and your putty, Crypt Crew, because October is our time to shine. Even though it's Halloween all year round on this channel, October, we really get to come out and play. So don't worry, you guys, I'm still working on the 4 Crows of the Apocalypse, and we should see that again soon. But this will be our next Halloween October WIP. Let me know what you guys think down below, and until next time, stay naughty.